on silent or vibrate, all that kind of stuff.
That's a Holy Ghost whooping today.
Yeah, that's what happened when you're late. Time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money.
No, you and your old habits did it. Let's go. We on.
Let's go. We on, Coco.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Lavish and Coco podcast. We right here with your lunchtime luxury. Y'all remember about 3 weeks ago when we said we was going to feed people for lunch? Well, we actually did. And then people ain't tapped in on the show since we fed them. So we ain't going to worry about that. Lavish and Coco podcast, we right here, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. We getting started. We moving kind of fast because we got an amazing guest. And I don't know, either our guests be really on time early or they come in late and it be a whole bunch of stuff that happen in their life. I think it's time that we do some stuff different. Don't say nothing, Carnell. I think it's time that we do some different stuff
because
in our life.
You know, our guest came in here late.
On the skateboard and then was talking like he was finna preach a sermon.
Like he had to tell us what was going on. Yeah. I was telling him that's Coco. That's the comedian. Listen, we ain't got time for all that, man.
We know Black Lives Matter.
We ain't got time for all that.
Why you sitting there like you on punishment?
I am. Y'all don't see it.
I see you so listen, our guest today is Carnell Alexander, the founder of the Carnell Alexander Foundation. So before we tap into him, we want to tap into a few other things that's going on. Lavish, I'm so glad it got cold yesterday because your nieces and nephews was downtown this weekend. That was Freaknik 2023, baby.
Man, I don't know about no Freaknik because it was a little deeper and worse than that.
It was. Shout out to my man, Big D, that does security. He is a security fixture all over the city, all over the country. Everybody know him. Who lost his life trying to quell a situation that was going on downtown in Greektown. Much love and respect and prayers and comfort and condolences to his family. But folks, listen, y'all. Listen. I know the pandemic happened. And I know some of y'all got y'all tax money back. But when I was downtown Saturday afternoon and saw that big camera on the corner of Monroe by Fishbones.
Oh, yeah, it's always there.
I know, but it resonated. It hit different. Let me say this. Seeing all the people that were downtown and walking around, it was like 80 degrees. I just looked at it. I just stopped and stared at it. It just hit different, like, for real?
Mm-hmm.
And all the young people, and I listen, I get it. I ain't hating on nobody, all of that, but we gotta do better. And we don't have to do better, we ain't gotta pretend and all that. So we have to do better for ourselves. Cause when they show the people fighting and y'all and ladies, listen. If you think you may fight later on that day, I want you to put some panties on when you out and you think you might get into a fight. No, I'm
so you know you got drama and you don't wear none.
You ain't got, listen, I'm talking about these women be fighting like gladiators. As soon as they fall, you can see their ovaries. You can see everything. Carnell, listen. They, as soon as they hit the ground, you see everything.
And I be looking at the videos and I be sitting there. I be wanting to see everything when they hit the ground. I be looking.
But listen.
I be looking. I be sitting there when I forget to fight. I be looking like, man, okay, hold on. I move my phone a little bit.
I know.
Like that, like the teacher video.
Oh, that was,
I ain't even paid attention to the whole fight. I'm just looking at the cheeks.
Man, listen.
I'm looking at the teacher's cheeks. I got to remember to note to myself to look that lady up.
So listen. You know I was coming around to that, right? I'm finna hit the corner. So, and the other thing, men, listen. Pull your pants up. And I'm not condoning your fight. But I don't want to see your butt. I don't want to see your ass. And it's some old man. I'm talking about how you got on dress shoes and you got a limp, but you sagging with your ass meat out. With some donated church drawers on. Come on, people.
I don't know, Coco. I think they think that's what's up.
Not you 45 and 50 years old.
I agree. I'm just saying, because I see 45, 50 being the new 30.
That's not.
Ain't no new 30, big fella.
Ain't no
I'm
new
just
30.
saying.
So
if we ain't looking at this thing in the proper perspective at life, if we not looking at life in the proper perspective and looking at this thing, we got a problem, man. And that's the problem, that the 50s don't want to be 50, they want to be 40, the 40s want to be 30. Won't you appreciate what the Lord has blessed you with?
I'm so happy.
Let's straighten this thing out with these young boys, man. These young boys is out of control.
So what about? But listen, what about the young? I'm not gonna just put it on the young men. And I don't want to lay blame
We
because
the leaders.
I know. But here's the thing.
We the leaders.
Here's the thing. I have done a lot of work with young people, and young people gonna turn into older people, and I think a lot of people need a love and a hug and this basic stuff that they missing. That's why they always looking for something. They over here looking for something. They over here looking for something. They over there and they in this person's face, and they everywhere looking for something. And there's some stuff on the women. Like Lavish was saying, that video of that school teacher and that student fighting. The student kept saying, when the student said, "That's on my mama," and the teacher kept saying, "Don't touch me, get out of my face," I knew what it was, what it was next. Now, Lavish and Carnell, I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right.
Y'all both got children, both parents, and all of that. And I'm just asking this. Do you think, and I don't know if y'all seen the footage, it's all over social media, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on Black Twitter, Elon Musk Twitter, it's on all the Twitter and everything. Do you think that situation, so let me tell y'all what happened. It was a teacher and a student. The teacher had taken the student's cell phone, taken the young lady's cell phone, and the young lady wanted the phone back, and she confronted the teacher, and they went back and forth, and they got into a gladiator WWE fight, and the teacher was on the ground with all of her backside exposed.
Her booty cheeks.
All of them.
That booty meat.
It was out. So I'm going to ask y'all.
I wanted it to go up a little bit more. It was out though.
No.
I did.
Do you think that situation could have been handled differently?
I mean, I think from my perspective, it could have been handled different. Everything could be handled different.
Okay.
In that moment, being in that position, you have to make a decision right then and there, right? Do you pick professionalism over survival? And these kids, they got a lot of energy.
Oh, that's what you call it?
They got a lot of, no, they got a lot of energy.
How old was this child?
They look like she might have been
A teenager.
14,
a teenager.
14.
A teenager.
I personally, I would have gave her a phone back and put her out of my class.
Okay, so you think it could have been handled different?
Bring your mother and your principal back. Here's your phone. Since you want to go through all that, I'm not going to go through that with you. I don't have time.
But now, let me ask you this. Are you setting yourself up for the next group of kids to say, this teacher weak. We can do whatever.
You're not weak.
She ain't going to do nothing.
You're trying to keep yourself out of jail because that could have went different and she could have hurt that little young.
It could have. And this another thing I want to say.
Me, you getting hurt. So that's why I'm going to avoid that and I'm going to give your phone back until you bring mama and the principal back to my class before you get in here. Because I'm not the teacher that you would want to rush.
So,
I'm just not.
But
yeah,
I see that. I'm looking at it because when it happened, Lavish, and when it happened, Carnell, I was looking at it like it could have been handled differently.
Yes.
And I looked at it as, because here's the thing, as an educator, you cannot abandon your classroom. So if you got 35 or 40 students in there, you can't run out the room. But you sure could go to the door and holler for help.
Right.
You could holler for help. Somebody call the principal, I need assistance, da-da-da.
My best student, go get the principal.
So here go my honest take on everything. And I know everybody, got their opinions. and everybody might, cast so much judgment on the teacher.
But they not us.
But yeah, I was gonna say that as well. Look, when I was growing up, and I know times can change, it was times that the teacher had fights with the student.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the next day, the teacher was still in the classroom,
and so was the student,
or the student if he wasn't suspended, and the student came back. But then, as a person, how many times? Me, I'm 41.
He young enough to be out. Listen, we old enough to be his parents.
Yeah, y'all old. I'm young. I'm proud. Listen.
In our day, we got education. We didn't fight
But wait,
I'm proud.
Somebody that went to school with us.
I don't know nobody fight the teacher.
It was. I didn't see.
I ain't never seen him and Mr. Woods was crap. Cool.
Y'all from Highland Park. I'm sure y'all done seen it.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
See, people always talk about Highland Park.
Yeah, Highland Park.
Highland Park was the city.
We was just talking about Miss Green. 6th grade teacher in Ford Middle School will talk about you and go tell your mama. Your socks dirty and tell your mama to clean.
Well, guess what?
You sit in my class
it wasn't no problem. Your mom wasn't coming up there trying to attack.
Forget mama. That student attacked that teacher. Not her mama. Yeah. Her mama need to go beat her up. If that was my child, the one that deceased, he'll tell you, don't call my daddy. Because if he come to this school,
you agree. Hold on.
Yeah.
You agree that the teacher was in the wrong?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
But I think the teacher
could have handled it differently.
It could have went another way.
How many times these kids gonna keep trying to attack these teachers?
But how many times are these young people dealing with whatever they dealing with and the teachers dealing with whatever? See, whatever we dealt with in our life as a 14-year-old, we had a lot of stuff going on in our life. We did. Listen. It probably.
Do we make excuses for everything?
Listen.
Sometimes it's not excuse. It's just the blueprint of what happened in your life.
It's the reality, and the same things that
have nothing to do with excuse.
That go on in some of these teenagers' life went on in our life, but we know we could not take it to the school and take it out on the teacher.
Yeah, we knew that.
But
we actually respected the teacher enough to know. All right, man, I can't wait till I get grown. I see you.
And then for us, for me and Carnell, our teachers lived in our neighborhood.
Right, we see them every day.
The firefighters, they did. The firefighters, and then if they didn't live in the neighborhood, we had the white pages and everybody's phone number was in there. I'm saying this because, and for all the educators, first of all, you listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. We need y'all to like us, follow us, and share us. To all the people that's educators, and we know a lot of educators and all that stuff. I know some educators that would have dropped them haymakers just like that. And then I know some that would have went to the door and hollered for help. I think, like you said, Carnell, here, take your phone, and it would not have made me soft, because you live to cry another day.
Right.
Because now you got to go through all this stuff, and now you got to take an FMLA and get a lawyer, and you got to do all of that stuff. In that moment, and we don't know what that teacher had dealt with. We don't know what that a student had dealt with. But being the adult and being the person that's supposed to be the orchestrator of that classroom, the director, I think she could have went to the door. I would have went to the door and hollered. I'd have set my chair in the door and still been hollering till somebody came to help me. But
and let me clear one thing I said. I said I said the teacher could have hurt the student. The student could have hurt the teacher as well. It could have went either way.
Yes.
But to avoid myself from even getting in that, here's your phone. And I'm done with that. Yeah. I'm done with you. Till you come back and apologize with the principal and your mother. Yeah. I'll see you. Yeah. And we like Coco said, we'll see it another day.
Yeah. We do with that. Because it done went to a whole nother level now. Now, when I see you on the streets, bitch, it's on. I'm coming to your house. It's in taking so many levels. It's.
And then I say it from a perspective of this too, Lavish. Coco and Buki can verify. When my son was living, I sat in school with him for 8 years. And then I used to be amazed that you got me sitting there and now they doing it. So I learned to deal with all the kids. No matter what you was doing.
I think teacher, man, beat him down.
You said the teacher should have did what?
Beat her down like she did. That's just me. I mean, just what if that was your wife? Listen, what if that was your wife?
Here come the pajama lady.
Man, beat her down. She did what she did.
What you call the pajama lady
Why you touch my baby?
So here you say, here come the
Beat it
mama
down.
or the grandmama.
Because listen, check this out. You ain't gonna put your hands on me. I'm a teacher or not. You ain't gonna put your hands on me.
That's why you get a phone back before it even get there.
I mean, it could. It could.
I ain't gonna even let it get there. Once I take the phone, you gonna act irate. Here, take your phone and go. I don't want you in my class. That's like Coco saying. This is what I used to explain to my son. Because my son was crazy. He would get into
Would you
stuff.
quit saying that?
He was. He's
Rest
Alexander.
in peace to
Rest in peace to CJ. I love you, boy. You know that. But listen, he would get in trouble in the first 5. He would get in trouble in the first 5 minutes of the classroom. You know, I would drive out the parking lot. They'd call me like, "You got to come back. He's suspended." It was that serious. So I had to explain to him. A teacher only has 55 minutes to teach you.
Was he fighting the teacher though?
Yes, he did it all.
Okay, so if the teacher was to punch him in his mouth,
I would have been on her side. I'd have punched him as soon as I got.
Okay, that's all I'm getting at. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, my son had a bond with the teacher. Don't call my daddy, please. So I just started sitting there. He ain't got to call me. I'm here now.
Now you can't even get past the front office in schools.
Who, me?
Parents.
I would.
That's because you damn near work there.
I'm that kind of guy. You just got to know how to do what you got to do.
Listen, you walk in like the fruits of Islam. You almost work there. Let's talk about that.
One of my police partners, he Mike Duggan security right now. He said, "I remember you from the school."
You said one of your who?
Police partners.
He
said you used to be frustrated in there, boy, sweating. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't want him to be like me.
So, Lavish, let me ask you a question. You a parent, and let's say you up at the school picking one of your children up from school, and you walk in and you see this student and teacher about to go at it. Okay. What you gonna do?
Me?
Yeah. You there to pick your child up. Let's say your child got a doctor's appointment. You picking him up early. And you walk in, and before it got to the fight, they going at it. What would you do as a parent?
Listen, I'm here to pick up my kid. And if my kid right there, all right, come on, because I got somewhere to go. I ain't got nothing to do with what's going on over there. Wow. That's me. I ain't got nothing to do. Hey, listen, I got something to do. Come on, son. Let's go. Dad, look what's going on. Yeah, I see that.
But
let's get up out of here.
That is the difference, because I could not have just walked in and picked up my child and not tried to
I ain't got nothing
intervene.
To do with that.
I couldn't.
You're a little younger than us.
I ain't got nothing to listen.
You're a little younger than us, but I'm going to say this.
I'm not intervening
grandmother's records
with nothing.
And get our Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. And it says the world won't get no better if we let it be. We got to change it, you and me. So what Lavish should have done is what Carnell would do.
What's that?
But we can't. But see, Carnell, here's the thing.
I'm going to get the principal at least.
Man, if y'all don't hear all that commotion,
send the principal that way.
Well, we got security in our schools now. We didn't have that when we was kids, but I'm sending security.
Listen, here go the thing. And it sounds good, but I live in the reality. I'm not getting involved with none of that, because now I'm part of a problem either way, but I'm not going to be a part of a problem where, yeah, I remember you. Now I got a problem with you and it's going down when I see you too. I could be in a situation and try to break up something, and the kids say, "Dad, Mom, he was there too." I'm not listening. That ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with my kids. I don't want it to happen, but
I understand what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I don't like that reality.
I don't like it, but
I agree with what you're saying.
I ain't about to get wrapped up in all that.
But
I just seen so many homies that was just there.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with nothing, but he remembered his face, and automatically he involved in something, and he was just there.
But what you know
I ain't getting into all that.
You know a bunch of supposed to be street guys that think they street guys. But see, I want to do a show on that with y'all too, about teaching these guys what street guys is. Because see, if I see Lavish and I'm at Lavish and you got Pookie with you, Pookie ain't did nothing to me. So I can't shoot Lavish today because Pookie with him.
Yeah, that's just
because if you start something with Lavish and Pookie, now you don't know who Pookie got that's coming with him.
Yeah.
So you got to have some rules to this. And we didn't broke all the rules. See, I'm a 14-year-old kid that got in the street. They need to come get the rules from me.
Man, listen, talk around the microphone.
Stop playing.
Just look this way when you talk.
I tell the Fruits of Islam. I tell the Moorish Science Temple. I tell my leader, the great minister Malik Shabazz. I tell them all, come get the instructions from a guy and y'all to put it down, because we suckers. We robotic suckers out here thinking we street guys. There is no such thing. You a fool.
Oh.
And I
do
can't
y'all hear that tone?
They hear me, Pastor Mo, all of us, we street guys, but we fools because we not preaching the right sermon. Okay? We stuck.
You can preach the right sermon. But if I ain't trying to hear it, I ain't gonna listen.
What's one of the cultural things they tell us about us? When we get in the third grade, they done picked us because they build in prisons. Well, let's get in the third grade. I don't see us going in the third grade. I'm a child support advocate for false child support, but I got involved with all child support because this is a problem in our city. I'm glad the men are standing here watching.
So I'm glad
we doing something.
So I'm glad you said that. So we gonna introduce you, Carnell Alexander, the founder of the Carnell Alexander Foundation. So y'all listen, you gotta Google the foundation. He's been on Fox 2. He's been in other states, Channel 7, advocating for this. And you hear this story, and you even see it. It's a show that come on Paternity Court, and they do the DNA, and you are not the father of 6 months old Tanasia, and the lady, oh, if it was one man, take another test. Oh, and then the judge say, was it anybody else? Well, I was with Willie Pookie a one time. Well, you listen. Matter of fact, you can get pregnant. It ain't even got to be a one time. You talking about the tip in. Matter of fact, you ain't even got to put the tip in. You can put it close, and it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here we go. To bring you up to date, Carnell Alexander has been fighting this fight 15, 20 years?
32.
32 years for a child that has been proven on all the levels to not be his child. And the court say, oh, it's not your child. Then they say, yes, it is. Thousands of dollars in child support and can't get none of it back. Ladies and gentlemen, Lavish and Coco Podcast presents Mr. Carnell Alexander. We got to give you your music. There we go. Got talking to the mic. Scoot your chair.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. And let me first apologize to Coco and Lavish for being pulled over by the police for being late. But my
wait
man,
a minute.
I was just explaining to my man how brilliant this young lady is next to me. And that we ride places and she's going to do a show and she put that right in the show. So he told me when you fussing at me on 8 Mile, he say, now she gave you the fuel to give it back to her. So here it go, y'all. Now, due to me being pulled over by the police, I'm riding in a Hummer that don't belong to me, that a friend of mine gave me because the heat in my Benz went out. Okay? So now, I got all these cars that's not in my name due to this situation that we about to talk about.
Wow.
Because I can't allow these people to know where I live at. I live in fear. Don't nobody know that. Don't nobody care. That's my problem. But I live in fear of what these white and black people mixed called the system. And they named this guy Uncle Sam. I'm still looking for my Uncle Sam because he owed me $32,000 plus compensation.
Court fees.
Everything. Late fees.
All of that.
Missing work.
What's
everything.
the other thing, Lavish, when it then caused you a headache and stress and all that? What they call that?
Anguish. Mental anguish.
Yeah, all that.
And what I have here on my phone that people can't see is a 37-year-old that was hid from me. My twin. Just found this out last year. DNA tested him. He don't want to talk to me. But when I go down to child support and ask them, what are you going to do to these mothers? I got a daughter. Remember her, the last basketball game I played in when you was commentating?
Yeah.
She was sitting in the audience. She ain't talked to me since because I won't be with her mother.
So let me ask you a question. So how did we get to the situation with the lady that said this child is yours and it ain't yours? How did the first conversation? Because these are the two other layers.
Yeah, these two different.
But how did we get to the initial conversation of, hey, Carnell, this your baby?
I was at my father's house where I stayed back in 87. and she knocked on the door.
So this go back to 87.
87, 88.
35 years, 36 years.
And she knocked on my father's door, came in my father's house and said, your baby needs some Pampers. And I told her, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have no children by you. I don't know what you're talking about. This is what Channel 7 wouldn't release. This was in part of the interview too, but it wasn't released. But
did you know the woman?
Yes, one night stand.
You was a dirty dog. Huh?
Now,
but here's the thing.
Listen to this.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, we gonna listen.
This blew her mind too when we did the interview in her kitchen. She said, I told them, which was true. I had a one night stand with her, but I never ejaculated in this woman.
You know you don't have to.
I got up.
You didn't.
I know, but you don't have to actually ejaculate because it's sperm in the semen.
No, don't believe it.
Trust me.
Do you know Coco is a sexologist?
No, it ain't got nothing to do with sex.
Sexologist.
But it's sperm in the semen.
Listen, she's a nurse and a sexologist, and me and her were right around the same age.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you, I was in a 20-year relationship and never used a condom, and if that was true, I have a lot of kids, and I only got one by that lady.
So okay, so
People
we go
say that the pre-cum it can make a baby,
but
well,
it
let
can't.
me see it. Let me see it.
But okay,
I
so
want to see a pre-cum because see, you ain't it some kind of little system we got to knock open
No.
inside of y'all
No, listen.
to get the egg to
So
come
listen.
out.
No,
In order
listen.
to fertilize
I'm just
that egg,
listening.
in
Hold
order
on.
for that to make
Hold
a
on. Let me give you the setup.
baby.
You can run the play. I'm gonna give you the setup.
Give us
Okay,
the
come
setup.
Is this mine?
Yes.
Okay.
In most instances, under normal circumstances, whatever is in the body is present in the semen. So the semen is the clear pre-ejaculant that comes out of the man. So when a woman getting ready to have sex with a man, y'all listening to Lavish and Coco podcast, a woman, if she looking at a man's penis, it's clear
She looking at it?
Huh?
You said that she's looking at it?
You better look at it.
I mean, where is it at? Is it close to your face?
It don't matter.
No, I'm just asking you, looking at it, is it close to your face? Where do you
always
normally
gonna turn left.
I'm just asking, where do you normally like to look
listen,
at it? Where do you like to view it
You
from?
see how big my hand is?
Yeah, where do you like to view
I'm
it from?
holding it in my hand like I'm choking a chicken.
Okay. Are you so you're looking at it? You're face to
I'm
face
looking
with it.
down. I'm looking through the porthole.
Okay, so it's like right there aiming at you.
No,
okay.
it ain't gotta be that close. You see how big these hands are, right?
I see it, but you still gotta grip it. And it's
No, if I'm holding it in my hand,
if you're holding it in your
you're gonna
hand.
see the white clear. It's gonna be clear. It's
Okay.
usually. So let me say this.
Go ahead.
It is usually clear.
See, if it ain't, he got a problem.
Well, now everybody, I'm just saying, okay, just because it got wheels don't mean it's gonna roll. So it's usually
Okay.
clear, right?
All right.
And if he goes into the woman with that, there are traces of active sperm usually in that clear pre-ejaculant. Usually.
Okay.
So there are a lot of men and women, and the children have been conceived, and the man say, I pulled out. Well, you might have pulled out for the sperm.
Do you
but
rather him keep it in or pull it out?
you going way or left.
I'm
You
just
going left.
asking. So
Listen,
Okay,
I don't
alright.
even put it in.
You don't?
No, so and for everything you shoot at me, I'ma shoot back, and I got an extended clip. You ain't gonna like this one.
I was just
You
asking.
ain't gonna like this.
Because I'm just asking to find out while we talking about it. We can't not. I mean, it's part of the conversation. I didn't know if you
Listen.
all right, never mind.
Now, if you want, we can do the next show on my sex life.
Carry
and
on,
I guarantee
Coco.
you ain't gonna be able to sit through 10 minutes of it.
I didn't know if you.
Huh?
If it,
Huh? I was at the Freak Nick and wasn't nicking or freaking. Huh?
no, I don't know about
Never
that,
went to
Coco.
Okay, so listen. So
Go ahead,
it's
go ahead,
usually
go ahead.
sperm found in that clear, kind of semi-viscous, sticky pre-ejaculant.
Okay.
So a lot of women say, well, he didn't even come at me. He didn't have to. It's enough sperm in that clear, gluey-like substance to get a woman pregnant. And if it's some swimmers, they gonna make the way. Now, in your instance, Carnell, you might have had the kind of semen and the sperm that nothing came out.
Blanks.
And you pulled out,
I'm good.
and
I'm
that's
glad
what it
with
was.
Lavish.
So,
I'm glad with them blanks.
It was
man.
blanks.
so that might have been the case. So I want people, and I'm not debunking what you're saying, but I want the adults and the people that's listening to understand. I don't want nobody to say, well, Coco said, and Carnell and them said that ain't no baby in that. Oh, baby, you will be a 60-year-old mama. It's the babies in that. And he ain't got to even put it in. Because the thing now is, there are women that once a man take his condom off, and it was an entertainer, once he take it off, they take it and try to insert it in themselves.
That's why I dispose of mine myself.
Well,
I dispose of mine myself.
I trust my sister next to me, and I love my sister. But you brothers better do some investigation, because if you didn't ejaculate in that lady, don't you claim that baby boy? Call me. We can fight.
Well, y'all listen. You might could fight, but if that man felt the quickening of that woman in her thighs, and he went, not the if it was yeah. I'm just saying. So go ahead.
I know about them inner thighs, Coco. I had this one time.
We gonna stay with
in the missionary.
She rolled
them legs, and I had to push her. I had to push myself like a push up. Yeah. All right, carry on.
You had to push yourself.
Yeah, I had to push myself up off of her.
See, she locked the soles of her feet together. You're supposed to lock the top of your feet together. See, this is a different lock. When you lock the feet together like this,
and I'm sitting there like I'm trying to come back out of it, and it's
y'all
like,
see
man.
It's like a wrestling move. When you lock this, he ain't getting out of that. He gonna get out this little punk ass hole. But you lock him like this, it's a wrap.
Yes.
Hi, Daddy.
Yeah. I agree.
But he looking at me like, oh, you don't talk like that.
So no, I don't know where all this comes from, y'all. She let her hand out today. She didn't let it all the way down.
So the woman showed up at your door, said the baby needs some diapers, and
I told her that I didn't have a kid by her. I didn't know what she was talking about. And that was the last I heard of it until I got out in 90.
Where'd you go?
Prison.
So from 80,
violation.
From 87 to 90, she didn't reach out to you. She didn't contact you. No.
And the sad thing about that is the state of Michigan claimed that they couldn't find me. They sent the process to my house.
Stop it.
But I meant to bring the documentation with me to show you all that they changed my name from who I was into who they wanted me to be.
Who they wanted? I mean, what do you mean?
Carnell Alexander is not really my name. That's my mother's maiden name. But my father's last name is Graham. And I was born under Graham, went to school all my life under Graham. But when I got in prison in 86, they told me I needed to get my ID. We sent off from my ID from the prison. Wow. And it came back in Alexander. So I came home a whole new guy.
Are you serious?
Yes. Administering them didn't know that.
And I've been knowing you forever. I didn't know that.
Anybody that went 1 through 8 for me in Highland Park, they gonna call me Carnell Graham. Chico Hamilton, all of them, they gonna say, "What up, Carnell Graham?"
And you know, I call you our name that we grew. I call you Booney.
Right.
That's what Curly, my guy Curly, just said. What up, Booney? That's what he said on there.
What up, Curly?
So wait a minute. So the woman showed up wanting money for diapers. You went to jail for 3 years for parole violation.
Right, 2 years.
2 years with parole violation. While you was in the system, they decided they didn't like your name, so they changed your name.
Right.
They changed your name, and then once they changed your name, you was somebody else.
Right.
So when you came home, that baby should have been what, 2 or 3 years old?
2.5, almost 3.
So let's talk about when you came home, because I'm listening. Y'all listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast, and we talking to Carnell Alexander. I need you to Google the Carnell Alexander Foundation and find out this gentleman's backstory, because it can happen. So when you came home,
I need women out there to know, too, all of you people that's on the podcast, that I am not against child support. We do, as men, have a responsibility to help you women take care of these children. And part of taking care of them women is the upbringing, the discipline, the structure of that child's mind. So we need to change a lot of stuff that we're doing.
We do.
And my foundation is here for that.
And women need to stop using a child as a pawn. If you can't get no money, you mad. And if this is happening, you mad. And if you get in another relationship, you mad. Here is the thing, and without putting a lot of stuff out there are women that have children that would just want the father to come over and help the child with some homework. Just want the father to pick the child up from school. Just want the father to show up at a game. She may have the money part all together. She may not even need any assistance financially. She just wants that child to have that male paternal presence in that child's life. And me and Kitchen, listen, taking care of a child is not all about money. And for you women that's, if he can't do this, then he can't do that, and he with somebody else or whatever. Life happens. But if he willing to come over and spend some time with that child, or he willing to take that child and sit on the porch and show that child something and have a conversation and walk to the store, whatever he's willing to do, and it's positive and it's not aggressive and it's not confrontational, please allow that man to father those children. Because when that child get older and you got that trauma bond, they don't know how to assimilate because they don't understand male direction and male presence. And you obviously don't understand male direction and male presence. It is a problem until you heal from that trauma bond. And usually your mama probably was a single mother, you a single mother, and you teaching your child that, you don't need no man because see your daddy ain't here. Listen, we were put on this earth as a group, not by ourselves. Go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
She gonna say something else.
I just want to piggyback on that just a little bit before I go back into the story. It's two things that we need to do as adults and children. Your mother and father life is not your life.
Yeah.
You can't pick and choose. They're two people that are given to you by God. Without those two people, you're nothing. You need to get out of their business. And God told me that. I'm just telling you. I hate it. Listen, I was just telling somebody this morning, my father was a great man. He married my mother with 6 kids, and he made 2 of his own. He worked 2 jobs, never had a bank account. He went to Cadillac in the afternoon and drove the cleanest van on Dexter and Monterey in the morning. Gave my mama all the money, never had no money, never had no bank account. But he beat her, so I hated him. He was a very abusive father to his wife. He didn't abuse me, but he abused my mother, and I hated him. But God stopped me one day and said, listen, how do you live if you keep worrying about him? It's not your job. So this is just some good advice that I want to give kids to get out of their mother's and father's business. And one more thing of advice from me to you is that if you are a parent and you are not with your child's mother, and this is to my brothers, because I think Coco was talking to the sisters. Stop thinking you're going to get some sex. Everything you do for your child, bro, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. And if you can't get it, don't let that deter you from your child. And if you get it, bro, it's a plus. Okay?
Yeah, but if you get it, it's under duress. I don't listen. I don't know a whole bunch of mamas that be like, yeah, he coming over here. Let me do this. Because if it's over, it's kind of over. But I don't know, because there's some women that steal. So
I don't know, man. You get that bag. As them women be talking about, yeah, he gonna come over. I give him a little of this, and
so
he gonna pick up
the couch.
Yeah.
The baby ain't even here. Listen, I'm gonna say this, y'all. We gonna get back to the story. That's why Coco, me and my daughter, is not together today, because her mother, when she came back, when you was doing that last basketball I gave her, she had to plate of food at my side door and no child. Every time she had a plate of food.
Did you take that plate of food
and put it in the refrigerator? And I told Eddie Laurie he can have it. The same one tried to kill him.
Hey, but you took it.
I ain't gonna even get into that.
But you took it.
Listen.
But
the
you
views
took
and
it.
opinions expressed on the Lavish and Coco.
This is not their podcast. This is me. Y'all know I'm raw and uncut.
I almost fell out. Oh, I got weak.
Hey, look, but back to the story. No, you ain't on TV.
All right. So you guys, so because we got to keep in mind.
Yeah, because she was trying to get back with you.
Okay, so she came to the door. She talked to stuff about the Pampers, and then I got violated for parole. Went back to prison.
Okay.
All right.
So I ended up doing the 27 months. In the process,
27 months for a violation.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother sentence.
That's a whole nother conversation too.
Right. During that time, the process server claimed he went to my father's house and he wrote on the bottom of the paper, or she, I can't really tell the name, the paper's so old now, that I refused to sign the paperwork in terms of them accusing me of being the father of this child, which was not true. So when I got out of prison and May 15, 1990. Shortly after, in June, I was riding down 8 Mile, got to 8 Mile in Greenfield, and the Oak Park police jumped behind me and told me I had a warrant for child support. And I said, bro, I don't even have no kids. That can't be me. So I didn't know about this kid. I found neither at the time. I didn't know about him, but I told him I didn't have no kids. They took me on a four more day vacation. I went from Oak Park to Ferndale to Detroit to friend of the court. And I told the friend of the court, somewhere right now in some paperwork, they're saying I never told the court that this was not my child. To America, to the Coco and Lavish podcast, two great people who have this is the second platform from each one of these individuals in trying to help us be educated on this situation so that we can get together and do something about it. Because I'm going to tell you, the struggle is real when you're by yourself.
Yeah, baby.
I've been attacked at my home. I've been attacked in Lansing and buildings. I've been attacked, and I live in fear.
So now you got this child, you got this child support. Let's talk about how did you go to court and dispute the fact that this is not your child, and also what happened after they discovered that this child is not even yours. What's the story behind that? What did the woman say when she found out that this is not your child? Or did she know already that this was not your child?
Well, if you look back on the video, well, let's go back to when I got out of prison. When I got out of jail for the child support, I hired an attorney by the name of Todd Perkins.
Shout out to Todd Perkins. That's my lawyer as well.
Who gave me David Middleton, who fumbled the case. I'm not pulling back no more straws now, y'all. It's too late in the game. We 8 years in rolling. Todd, you jacked it off. David, you jacked it off. Judge Braxton, you jacked it off. Kathleen McCarthy, you jacked it off. Felicia Cartwright, you jacked it off. And you still don't want to pay me. Denise Page Hood, our federal court system judge, you jacked it off too. You don't want to give me my money back, and you don't want me to be compensated for anything you did to me. You have destroyed a black man's life, but I'm too proud, too strong of a brother to fold, okay? I'm too proud, I got 7 brothers. I will not bend. Eminem's favorite word. These shoulders can hold it. Trust me when I tell you. But back to the story. As Todd Perkins took over this case and gave it to David Middleton's, we argued in court because David Middleton's went in court trying to get me to make an agreement with Judge Braxton to pay this. And I kept telling him, why would I pay for a baby that isn't mine? Find this young lady and let me get a DNA test because I was incarcerated. Shout out, if you want to shout out, Attorney Pope over at Reverend Wendell Anthony's church at the NAACP for recognizing a polished brother and said, brother, what are you doing here every day in Frank Murphy's with this yellow envelope? I said, well, sir, they charged me for a baby that ain't mine, and I explained to him where I was and everything. And Attorney Pope told me, he said, brother, go over to the friend of the court and don't tell him what you're looking for, but under the Freedom of Information Act, you ask for your file. If that proof of service paper is not in there, this case ain't no good. That proof of service paper had that I refused to sign it May 26, 1989, and I was in prison.
Wow.
Now, why am I going through all this?
Why are you going through all this?
A Detroit police officer told me if I'd have been at home one night after they kidnapped me from Judge Braxton's courtroom and kept me in Battle Creek for 5 days, he said, bro, if you'd have been at home, you'd have died that night. I ain't been home in 8 years. I live at 10015 Lauder, Detroit, Michigan, down the street from Chuck Millionaire. Go look at my house. Trees taller than me and you.
You know what?
I can't even go to my home because I'm scared. My mail go to the east side. I don't live there. I drive cars in your name and Coco name and Mookie's name. I can't drive nothing in my name.
I'm finna go. Hey, listen, y'all.
I'm just being real. And I'm glad y'all gave me a platform because I'm in a state of my life where everybody need to be exposed. Let's go.
Well, let's go.
Let's
talk about it.
This attorney,
hold on. Let me do this.
Let me say this.
Hold on. Let him talk. Let the man talk.
Let me say this. this great attorney, Ty Perkins, before I get you to understand who he really is. He loved my drug money. He loved my drug money, but my child support case he fumbled. Now his brother a judge, and they still don't want to help me. I just seen him at Cherokee Harris' father's funeral, who they chased away from me. Kim Russell and Cherokee Harris has been told, don't even answer the phone for that Negro no more.
So wait. Y'all listening to the
These ladies chase me down to work with me. I don't go looking for Kim Russell nor Cherokee Harris.
Wait, let me do this. Y'all listening to the Lavish and Coco podcast. The views and opinions expressed are not the views and opinions of Lavish.
It ain't our views.
But listen,
it ain't our views.
But let me say this.
Them his views.
From our standpoint,
his opinion.
We have to honor and respect what everybody's story is.
Right.
So that's the purpose of having Carnell Alexander on the show, because he is not the only man that is going through this situation on this side. And there are women that are fighting the same battle, and everything has been proven that the father of the child is the child that they have. So it's a two-edged sword, and I do understand it. So let us say that.
I got a question. Are you still playing basketball?
No.
Okay, no. Somebody asked.
Tell them if they want to play for $100 a point, I'm only going to 7. 7 hooks, and I'm a beast. Whoever it is, talk about is I'm playing basketball.
Wait,
tired of hearing that.
You gonna shoot?
I play for
you gonna shoot?
$700. I make $700 a week. I'm trying to figure out how to manage that too. That's hard.
Well, listen, call me. I'll help you with that.
Cost $700. I can't even buy that.
So wait, I just want to know: are you shooting in your dress shoes?
No. Yeah, I will.
I know you will.
State boots.
See, listen, I know
they don't know nothing about Lil Man. They don't know nothing about Lil Man. Throw that John Knight off and start hooping in them dress shoes.
Okay, listen.
Oh, decent. Who in them don't know? See, I got to tell them the history.
No, I live around the corner from him.
They got a sports cast you need to go on too with Wayne Dortch and them. They doing it in Cedric Dortch's little brother.
Okay.
So you could tell them about them Highland Parkers. See, y'all don't go back like Coco.
Yeah, y'all listen.
Y'all young
these cats used to show up at the court and throw the mean coat off and shoot 21 shooters, straight shooters with gaiters on. Listen, snapping gaiters on, pick that mean coat up, shake it, get their money, and walk out the gym. I ain't telling you what I heard. I shouldn't even been up there. I was a little young buck. Should have been on the porch eating annihilators and honey buns. Let's go, Lavish. Come on.
No, I want to get down to the thing about the him.
Let me say one thing, Lavish, before you go into that. I want to apologize to Coco and Lavish for getting a little.
Don't apologize.
Don't apologize for being yourself.
But
no,
listen,
because people need. Yes, this your story.
This is why I'm to this point.
Preach,
because I've been on this campaign, y'all, for 8 years.
It's been longer than that,
and I hear it's been 31 years of the boy's life that they was taking advantage of me, but I finally got strapped. Richard Cooper's wife actually the one put me out of their house on Midland and say, go downtown and do something about it and stop talking in my house to my husband. But
you was Jordan down every time you went to the court?
No, I was dressed down.
He say Jordan down.
Basketball, yeah. I'm the one who invented wearing Jordans in the gym. They took their Jordans off and set them on the sideline. I bring mine out the box and Foot Locker. Yeah, I'm Jordan for real. 5'11" Jordan.
See, listen, Lavish is enjoying this hood history.
Hey, Lavish, my foot don't reach, but I started a lot of bull crap in Highland Park, and we just was talking about that. That's another show to another day. But I'm a trendsetter, bro. I got a guy in Highland Park telling me right now, if I don't get an old car, don't speak to him.
Listen,
he say niggas wouldn't be riding old cars if it wasn't.
I could get you like a 78 box Lincoln right now. The box Lincoln.
Yeah, the big one.
The big box photo. It's like a caramel brown. My partner got one in Southwest Detroit. He probably only want like $2,500 for it. It's in good condition. Need a little work. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah, we'll talk after the show.
Your cousin Preston is on his way.
He on his way here?
I don't know where he at.
He
just said he on his way.
Preston on his way to get that Lincoln.
Hey, look, for all the people who tuned in, y'all keep tuning in to this podcast. Great podcast, great two people, man. I can't even. I'm gonna just tell you, Lavish a good guy. Yeah. Me and Coco so tight, man.
I'm a good guy.
If you know anything about Highland Park, you know we love Coco.
And listen, every time, it's so funny, every time Booney show up somewhere.
I will give y'all that government name, but I ain't going to do it.
They don't believe it.
I ain't going to do it.
So listen, here's the crazy part. Wherever Booney is, if I'm there or wherever I'm there and Booney show up and we talking, they look at Booney and look at me. And then he walk away, they be like, y'all got something going on, don't you? I be like, listen.
Yeah, we got love going on. It ain't gonna never stop.
Listen, I be like, y'all don't understand how deep these layers are.
Nope.
It's a whole bunch of stuff to that. So listen, we gotta get the story out.
Yeah, we gotta get the story out. I want to know about the child support and did the child support stop?
So once you got so you came home, you was on parole, and you went down to the Friends of the Court, and you found out that the document that would have said you was the father was not in the file.
No, it was in the file. It just had refused to sign on the bottom.
Okay, and
so
you
wasn't
in jail.
notified because he was in jail.
I was not notified.
Okay.
So therefore, since we right there, I want y'all to understand this. Once that case, an attorney Pope pointed that out to me, and that case was no good. There is no real justification on why I haven't been compensated or allowed to sue. They have nothing in a law book that can justify what they're doing to me right now. This is why I live in fear. What are you trying to do? Hurt me before we get this really where it's supposed to be? Because 1 million men should be with me in these 8 years.
Wow.
Stan Costin, the president of my foundation, and Stan, I'm not putting you out there in a negative way. I'm putting you out there in a great way. He just got robbed just recently for $7,500, and the child isn't his. Now, why Stan is not fighting that, I don't know. But that's on Stan. That's my president, and I'm behind him, whatever he want to do. But I can't lead that fight. But he should be fighting.
So you've tried to get, because you paid into child support for this child.
They took. I didn't pay anything.
Okay. So money was taken from you for child support for this child.
Right.
And let's say $40,000, $50,000. Let's just say
32.
That.
I got the number right.
Okay, so $32,000. Yes. Have they tried to repay you or compensate you?
No. So, they told me that we didn't take $32,000 from you. We took $7,100. And that lady that was on that phone, it's recorded somewhere in their file. I told her, well, send me that. I'll figure out where the other 25 at. You ought to know that by now that I'm going to keep looking for the rest of it. So
did you ever get that $7,100?
No, I haven't got anything from them. What I got was put on the front of Detroit Free Press by Jim Romstead, a Republican. Shout out to Jim Romstead. Them the kind of people you shout out, Lavish. Good people that do good things. He's a Republican. He crossed the line because of my girl, Sherry Gay Denego. Shout out to Sherry.
Okay. Yeah, that's my girl.
Shout out to Sherry. She got me 6 politicians to come out on the Lansing boardwalk when I got to Lansing, from walking 4 days to Lansing.
From Detroit to Lansing. I remember that.
Lansing.
I remember that.
Look at these legs. Now they swell up every night.
Wow.
And I can't get no money to get medical insurance, to get nothing, to do nothing, because these people got me fighting them so hard. I'm killing myself. I don't want to die before this message get out there.
No, and you won't. We ain't going to even claim that. You're not.
These people, we don't know. People dying every day. Wendell, just the other day, posted on Facebook, you ready for the party, baby? And 2 hours later, gone. So, I thank God for the extra days. From where I came from. And this is a whole nother story, and I hope Lavish give me a chance to do this, because Thursday I'm starting writing my life story.
Okay.
Because my sister just revealed to me in February that she put me out for selling drugs. Something I didn't do till 3 years later after Nick Scott.
We go on. You can't use the name. We going back to this child support. This $7,100 is child support.
It's a good thing. After Nick Scott was playing basketball.
Yeah.
On Percy team.
I remember that.
And then he graduated.
So listen, you listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. Our guest is Carnell Alexander from the Carnell Alexander Foundation, and he is talking about a child support case that has taken national precedence because it's just so many layers to it. And he's been on all the media outlets, he's marched and all that stuff. So we at the Friends of the Court is offering you the money that you never got back. So out of the $32,000, they offered you a percentage, let's say 29% of the money back.
Right.
$7,100. But you ain't got that back either, have you?
No. I got 9 checks equaling $300 and about $65.
9 checks?
9. 65, 77. 7 for 35, 29 and 19 cents, and 1 for $4.81.
You kidding me, right?
Honest to God. On everything, I bring them to you.
Wow.
And this is the kind of game that they want to play. So getting back to the Jim Romstead, when Jim Romstead put me on the front of the Free Press, The Republican Party told him he couldn't work with me anymore. I don't know if I should be revealing this information, but I doubt if Jim Robstead and them would be on here to see this. But however, they told him don't do that. He sent me to Lansing to petition the Democrats to help me because he was going to help us from the sideline. I went to Street Chanaday's office. I went to Cynthia A. Johnson's office. I got the newspaper clipping laminated in some paper, and I got permission from the people at the front desk to go upstairs to do this. But when I come out of that office, I get attacked by 6 security guards who tell me I got to get out of the building.
Wow.
So I want to know, is it my race or is it my case? Why you mad at me? What did I do? See, I was sitting in a prison for a crime I didn't commit. That's a whole nother story. You put a child support case on me, and then you want to kill me because I prove you wrong. And I blame Judge Braxton for that. She's the one that I went to court for 5 days, dressed like I do, with the yellow envelope, and then she called me back to her courtroom and locked me up for 5 days. After the 5 days, the police raided my home 2 days later. Just so happened I wasn't at home. And I haven't been back since.
Wow. Whew. So listen, we're going to have a part 2 to this story. And we need y'all to remember where the part 2 was. The part 2 was at the police raid. I remember that.
I want to know, do you have a relationship with this kid in question?
No. Never known.
Never?
Never.
Okay.
Except for when we took the DNA test and his mother introduced him to me. He took the test and he was sitting in the back of my Suburban and he said, you know, man, my father down in Georgia. And I turned around and looked at him and said, for real? I said, well, won't you, your mother, and your father get together and tell them people? I'm serious. I told him that.
So it's been proven that this is not your child.
Period.
No kind of way.
None. 99.9. No. Now listen, it say 000 on the paternity test. 000. And what I had pulled up and showed Lavish, because I don't know if Lavish get all my stuff, my posters on Facebook, was the 37-year-old kid that I found last year when I got the job at Highland Park, and his mother told me I was miserable because she blamed him on my friend's nephew.
Okay, so listen, y'all. We're going to take a couple questions. We're going to definitely take some questions.
We got Diane. She wants to know who wants to kill you and why.
We can't have Diane. Now listen, baby. Now listen. And as much as we want to get into that for our personal reasons, Diane. Now what he'll do is we'll take your name, and we'll come back and he'll answer your questions maybe on message on Facebook, but we not finna have that audible conversation because I got stuff to do when I leave here. I gotta go take me a nap and watch Judge Mathis at 3:00. Yeah. So we love you, Diane, but
hey, Mama, I call you when I get off and tell you.
Yeah. Oh, you got that number? Okay. Thank you, Diane. All right, next question, because baby, that hit hard. My back started hurting. Woo! Oh, okay. I see who that is. All right, I got it.
Yeah, I got to go back through here, man. We going back.
But it's so interesting that when you hear these stories, people say, "Oh, that's not possible. It couldn't be," but it could be. And there's so many things that we don't understand.
Robin says she don't know what to say about any of this.
Robin?
Listen,
yeah.
Hey, Robin.
I say this just to piggyback on what Coco said. You sometimes think the stories ain't real, but Coco can verify this, and I have a partner sitting here in the studio. He's off camera. He can verify it. I tell him stories about Highland Park because he's a younger statesman in Highland Park of us, and I don't want him walking through there believing garbage that people tell him. And he will tell you every time I tell a story, somebody come confirm it, and I don't ask them to. I don't got to ask them to because I'm going to tell you facts. Either you live with it or you don't. I got put out at 14. It's hard out here for a pimp.
And you wasn't even a pimp.
Terrence Howard wasn't playing.
You wasn't even pimping. That's the people like, how you know? Listen.
I've been there, done that, seen it.
Robin is that's my new niece, amazing young woman. Make sure you check out her podcast, Just Our Opinion podcast. It's on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You could go to Just Our Opinion on YouTube, Facebook, and check it out. Because it's a bunch of people that are doing amazing things to get knowledge and information and stuff out there. So as we rise, you got to take people with you. If you bake bread and that whole loaf of bread don't rise, That's a bold batch. You throw that out. In the drug world, it's a bad batch. They throw the whole thing out. So as you elevate and you start to rise, if everybody in your circle is not elevating and everybody not rising, that's a bad batch. You got to start over. That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm sitting here with Lavish. Me and him beefing. We not really. So let me say this. I got to debunk the rumor. So I love Lavish. Lavish is that little. I didn't
know I was beefing with her.
No. Lavish is that little brother that showed up at the family reunion, and his family was from Arkansas, Mississippi, or somewhere. And he showed up at the family reunion. He had graduated from high school. He the little brother that showed up. And when everybody was getting ready to go home, he was standing there saying, he ain't going. I'm staying here. These my people. And he here. Like, I don't know where he came from, but he here with the family.
He just moved in. But now Morgan did to us.
Listen, yes. You know, back in the day, you look up and you got a cousin.
You got somebody that moved in your house.
And the crazy part is, your mama treat them better than you. He get a chicken breast and you get the neck in the back. Your mama wouldn't get Lavish the breast and you get the neck in the back. And she tried to put a lot of gravy on. No, mama, that's still a neck in the back. Lavish got the breast.
Yeah, I got the best. I got the best. I got the breasts.
So check us out. We're gonna have a part 2. Check out Carnell Alexander. He on all the media platforms, because there are people going through real life situations that we will never know about. And there's so many things in life that we have to learn, genetics and reproduction, because there are women that it's possible to get pregnant. So here's the thing. Like, if I have sex with a guy and then I go have sex with another guy after I finish having sex with him, there are twins that have 2 different sperm donors that are fathers, and I will give birth to them, and they got 2 different sets of DNA.
Have you ever had that happen to you and it scared you?
Hell no. Let me tell you what's so crazy about this.
I'm just asking. You never know.
I'm going to give you a whole breakdown. I have a list that I've kept. I didn't have sex till I turned 18. I was out of high school. I wasn't the flavor of the day. I was the girl that helped cats learn how to read and drive and all that, but I wasn't the flavor of the day. It's funny, them same cats, I see them now, they be like, hey, what's up? No, you built like me. Nope, I don't want you now. You should have hollered at me when you had that physique. you was built like an action figure. Now you built like action. Ain't no figure to that. Nah, bro. Should have got me. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You all on me. So I had a list. I keep a list of every man that I've ever slept with. And it's a scale, and it's in my garage, the book in my garage.
How long is that list?
It's raggedy. So in that book, it got what they do.
That's what I want to know. I want to know how long that list is.
The list started when I was 18.
But how long is the list?
I'm 60 now.
But that ain't answering my question.
You want to know how many bodies I got?
What you got, over 30?
Hell yeah.
40?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just asking.
I'm not ashamed.
I'm not ashamed either. Ain't nothing to be ashamed about.
Let's do the math.
I want to know the body count.
I started having sex when I was 18.
Okay.
I'm 60.
60.
That's 42 years that I've been having sex. So yes, I do have
42 bodies.
At least
one a year.
So and listen, so sometimes there was people that I doubled back and went back to.
No, I'm talking about you gonna add them as another body.
Yes, you do.
No, they the same body.
No,
they the same body.
Let me tell you why.
They're the same body.
Let me tell you why.
We didn't say sex, we said bodies.
Let me tell you why you add that body.
What? Let me hear that.
Because a cat that I had sex with in 1999,
you have been with him.
If I have sex with him in 2017, that nigga's different.
He different, but same body. You can't add that to the body.
You gotta add that body.
You can't add.
That's just like this. That's just like
Let's
this.
Hear it.
If you and a woman have a child, and y'all raise all those children together,
what's different?
Each child is born into a different household. Cause that sex might have been trash in 97.
It might, but if you have sex with John at 16 and you have sex with John at 38,
them 2 different bodies.
It's still John.
It's not for me. For me, it's kind of 2 different.
So
bodies.
Is that 42 turning to 84?
Hell no. That 42 turned into 28 since you being a smart ass. And listen, for every, and let me tell you how discreet and how concerned and how I've taken care of my body. I give you $100 for every cat that you can bring to me that said they ever slept with me. I give you $100.
I mean, Coco, my job not to investigate your body.
I know, but no. Here's the thing. What you think you see ain't what you see. Because listen, it's plenty of cats that grew up with Carnell like, yeah, I hit that. And Carnell just be looking at him like, no, you didn't. No. Because listen, it's plenty of women come up to me. So, recently, so here's the funny part.
Diane asked how many bodies I got. I got about 4 or 5.
40 or 50?
I said 4 or 5.
At 41?
I believe in long-term relationships.
Man, go to bed. Listen.
I believe in long-term relationships.
Yeah, bathroom down the hall. Yeah.
What? I mean, prove me that. I believe in I fall in love. Yeah, I fall in love.
You fall, but I don't know if it's love.
I believe in longevity.
Well, I can't tell you that you lying. So let me say that.
I'm just saying.
I ain't even counting, y'all. So don't ask me.
Well, you into long-term relationships too. But I get women that come up to me. So recently, let me say this. Recently, we lost 3 of our classmates that we grew up with. And then one of our classmates and our friends for all our life, she lost her husband. So shout out to Highland Park and our whole family.
Shout out Parker.
Yeah, so it's so funny. We was at one of our brothers' home going, and me and Booney do what we do. We walked to the car, got the car, had to get some gas. We ran to the gas station and everything. We sat in the car and talked or whatever. Now, it's always some woman that see us together. Mm-hmm. It's always some woman. And it may be somebody that really don't pay attention, but I could tell because he'll jump in my box. Hey, girl, I saw you so-and-so. You don't never say nothing to me until whatever. Or they come up to me like, yeah, I saw you at so-and-so. Was that Booney you was with? Hooker, you know damn well that was who. And it ain't really a real Highland Parker because if you really know us, you know we've been friends forever. So, yeah. It ain't gonna change. So, I don't know. Booney stay in long-term relationships, y'all. So I'm just saying, I don't even know if he's single. I ain't gonna even ask because that ain't my. But listen, I'm single. So listen, dig this here.
Yeah, she's single.
So I'm single, right? And I'm really, I'm at this curve in my life. Where I really want to date and have a dating relationship and see what that whole process is like.
I can't wait to see Coco in a relationship. I can't wait to call her up on the phone and she be like, Lavish, let me call you back because I'm out with him. We eating right now. I can't wait to hear those kind of conversations. You're not?
Hell no. Listen.
It can be important.
Listen, I'm going to shoot you right to.
You want to shoot me the text?
Please text me.
You'll be like, hey, text me. I'm out right now.
Hey, listen, I'm waiting to hear the stories. Before we get out here, what I found out. So my men can stop running from this situation.
Okay, what they running from?
They running from themselves because the money that we punch a time clock with, and this is a little educational course. Some of you went to college and you didn't learn this, but I'm finna teach it to you today. The money that we punch into a time clock is the money that creates our system. That fake uncle you got called Uncle Sam. That's what creates that. That's your police, fire department, so-and-so, so forth, your streets, everything, child support, everything, y'all. It comes out of our punch clock, okay?
Taxes and stuff.
So when they loan that money to your child's mother and prosecute you for it, please get in touch with me so we can stop this. We can't get prosecuted, y'all, for our own money. You're running from yourself. Stop it.
Wow.
I've been on an 8-year run and I ain't got 800 of y'all behind me. That's embarrassing when we all got the same problem. Some of you guys paying child support for kids and you're living in the house with the woman and the baby.
You know why?
What is wrong with you?
Because that woman at some point
got social service. I know it. Yep. With her lazy self. You lazy woman. I mean, I love y'all. Can't do without you, but you lazy. No reason for social service. Get your life in order before you had a baby. And fellas, stop wanting 10 women when you can't handle one. I'm just being real, bro, and I've been him. I'm not telling you from a negative perspective. I'm telling you from experience, bro. I used to have fat women and try to jug them.
I was going to ask you how many you had at one time.
Oh, man, too many. I was that guy.
You was that guy?
You sitting next to the man. Highland Parkers, tune in and tell that Negro who I am.
I'm gonna tell you right. I'm gonna tell you right now. So listen.
I left the 8th grade, man.
You left the 8th grade, huh?
8th grade.
So let me tell y'all this. You listen to Lavish and Coco podcast, and let me just say this about this gentleman right here, right? It was a few people, a few families in Highland Park that everybody knew, right? And when you heard their name, like you at a basketball game, and they would say, so-and-so walking into the game, no matter what was going on, the gym would get quiet, like, and you watch them walk in, and they go to their seat. And this gentleman sitting next to me, cool guy, he would walk in, always dressed, suited, booted, hat, because our grown men wore hats, long coats, and all of that. That's what we did. But the women, hey, Burley, how you doing, boy? Hey, boy. And I would be laughing because it was funny. So I would speak. He was always nice to me. I would speak or whatever. Fast forward, we get grown. Same women. Hey, boy, how you doing? They voice done change. Hey, boy, how you doing? Newports done change. Boy, hey, boy, how you doing? So now that we grown, and I see him out, some of them still at him. They be looking at him, standing to the side, just looking at him. I'm like, ma'am, just go on. He can't run that fast now. Just go on, holler at him. he can't move that fast now.
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. And that I go through it every day.
Let me say this before we get out of here, y'all. We really, in all honesty, we really need to grab a hold of this child support thing, fellas, and really try to get the women to understand so that we can balance the books and stop our kids from dying in the community. Because as long as that man is not home and those two bloods are wrestling, tell them about that too, Coco, the nurse part about two bloods trying to wrestle to be one. Back in me and Coco day when we were young, you have to get a blood test to get married. Now they just letting y'all get married. You don't know if you're marrying your long lost
cousin,
whoever,
nephew,
and then your blood is in that body wrestling, and then you the first thing the woman tell the baby, and I heard this in a lot of cases, you act just like your damn daddy.
They do, and
just like your damn daddy.
And what the woman not understanding, you bringing the same thing to the table.
Yeah.
So if you got some issues, or you got some health issues, or whatever it is, woman, you bringing it to the table. If you do drugs, whatever your issues is, you bringing them to the table too. And then the father bringing them to the table. So you really don't know who you dealing with. You don't even know his real first and last name and his favorite color. Slow down. Right. Sex ain't changed. That's why everybody's squirmish about the Freaknik video coming out. And listen, and that was the Freaknik. That was low-end freakery. Listen, they worried about this Freaknik documentary coming out. I posted yesterday. They nervous. I was at the Freaknik too.
I was there. Videos of you?
I don't know. That's why I said go on post it. Then I thought about. I said, let me get off this video. I said, oh shit, wait a minute.
I'm glad I never went, so I ain't got to worry about that.
I went, and whatever happened in my past is my past. We need to have some accountability for our body, our thoughts, our words, what we listen to, what we eat, where we go, and all of that stuff. So you listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. Our guest was Carnell Alexander. Make sure you like us, follow us, or whatever. And when we're not doing the podcast, we out in the streets, we in the community. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and I will be in Ypsilanti at Men Like Us. It's on Michigan Avenue. The address, I think, is 3301. Ypsilanti is doing this thing, and it's a continuing community educational thing, and they're going to have food, and they're going to have politicians there answering questions, and they giving away Xboxes, and they giving away game consoles, and my buddy that is bringing Michael Collier to town. Michael Collier will be in Pontiac, Michigan on Father's Day. Go to Ticketmaster. Tickets are available. I'm hosting. Josh Adams is on the show. Cletus is on the show and all that. So 2 things. Come to the event tomorrow. So Michigan Avenue is absolutely free. They got great food. It's going to be a lot of representation there. We're going to ask the hard questions. We're going to have different agencies there to help you with whatever you're dealing with. It's in Ypsilanti, but y'all know how to get to Ypsilanti. Y'all get everywhere else. And number 2, go to my Facebook page, Ginger Hudson, or go to my Instagram page, Coco the Comic. Big show coming up with Michael Collier on Father's Day at the Strand Theater in Pontiac. I'm also at Bird's Warehouse, Mother's Day. I'm working. And I'm thankful to God. I was on Mason's show yesterday with Mason and Angie Starr. I'm thankful to God that I'm celebrating 32 years of being a stand-up comedian. So that means a lot. Absolutely.
What else you thankful for, Coco?
I'm thankful for you.
That's all I wanted to hear.
I'm thankful for Carnell Alexander. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for the Lord. I'm thankful that I woke up this morning and, my hip and my booty was hurting a little bit because I'm dealing with some.
What happened? I mean, what was you?
Oh,
ain't
nobody blew my back out. Trust me.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Listen, if I had a back blower outer, trust me.
A back blower outer.
A back blower outer. If I had somebody blowing this big back of mine out, you know it. I come in here like, hello, Lavish, how are you doing?
I'd be like, oh yeah, she must have had a hell of a night last night.
I'd have been like, hi, Lavish, the world is so beautiful. Don't you agree, Lavish? It's just so beautiful. But until I get that back blow out, I'll be talking just like this. So no, I got some sciatica issues I'm dealing with, but I'm finna get some acupuncture to deal with that. So I'm just glad to be alive. God is good. The world is beautiful. And keep on working on your healing. Mr. Carnell, what are your last words?
Yeah, because we got to go.
Let's go. Come on, Mr. Carnell.
My name is Carnell Alexander, as she told you. I'm the CEO and founder of the Carnell Alexander Foundation. Every child deserves to know their parents. That's my slogan. Not one parent, not two parents. This is a group thing when you make a baby. Unfortunately, as Coco said, and I've touched on it numerous of times, we meet each other in these strange places and we think we know each other and we start getting into things that we have no business getting into. I know you say you grown. I'm grown too, but as I think back on my life, I would change a bunch of stuff. I just would, because I could be a better person. And I think I'm a great guy today, but I could be a better person if I just thought a little better when I was coming up. We do rational things. But however, you can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Carnell Alexander. My phone number is 313-939-3447. 313-939. Wait a minute.
What, you forgot your number, man?
Yeah.
That age catching up to you?
Yes, it is. And probably the happy grass. I work better under conditions.
I understand. What's the number?
313-939-3447. We gotta wait till we get across 8 miles.
And Mr. Lavish?
Watch out, boo. Watch out, boo.
Man, listen, Coco, you see what happened when you bring Highland Park up in here?
Listen.
You see what happened?
That's my baby. Listen, he's been my baby since he was born.
Look, we about to go ahead and end the show. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you that tuned in to watch the show, the Lavish and Coco podcast. Tune in next Tuesday as we go at it again with another guest. You can like, follow, and subscribe, and catch us at Lavish T. Williams, at Ginger Hudson, at Coco the Comic. And fellas, when you up in between them thighs,
not like this.
Make sure you get your exit route to slide back
like
out
this,
so she won't try to trap you up in there.
Listen.
Exit route.
Peace, y'all.
Y'all is something different.